it's an orange and an apple. They're just different. What a JPEG is it's a photograph. It's a two-dimensional rendition of something. It also is potentially limited in resolution to whatever the source and then the recipient is, and those can change over time, right? So it's like a photocopy. Sometimes when you make a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, you can't even read what the photocopy is. JPEGs aren't quite that way because they're digital files, but there are always times when you'll accept a lower resolution JPEG. You've seen it when you've tried to share a photograph via email, where it says, would you like the large one or the small one? And as soon as you go down any lower than the resolution of the original image, you've started to degrade the quality of what you've got. DICOM is very different than that. DICOM, assuming that it's the raw DICOM that comes right off of the scanner, DICOM is typically multiple layers of JPEGs, if you will. They're not quite JPEGs, but that's what it looks like. So there are multiple slides. It's kind of like the when you were a kid, you had one of those little cartoon books, and when you flipped the pages, it looked like it was in motion. That's kind of the difference between JPEG and DICOM. JPEG is one of those little sheets, and DICOM is the environment when all of them get flipped together and it looks like a three-dimensional environment. So they're different. And in just about every case, if it's a true medical expert that's reviewing a medical image, they want the DICOM. If they don't want the DICOM, it's either because it's a cut and a bruise, so it's something that can be seen in two dimensions really easily, or they're not the right expert for you. One of those two is probably true. So a medical expert's going to ask for DICOM, which means that they have to have a DICOM viewer, which is a special purpose piece of software that allows them to view it. And there are all different types of DICOM viewers. We have one that we distribute, which is open source, free medical image viewer called Horos, and that works only on a Macintosh computer. But it's a very good DICOM viewer, and we know, well, there are more than 750,000 people around the world that use that one for whatever the purpose is, both in the world of law firms as well as in the medical field. But it's not a cloud-based system, so it doesn't help you with that transfer portion of it. But we have our product called Purview Image does exactly that. It has a medical image viewer, which is a cloud-based viewer, and the images are stored in the cloud. So it's easy to view, just like you can on Horos, and it's easy to share, it's easy to store, so all those kind of things. So you need to make sure you've got a purpose-built viewer, and then you need an environment that's HIPAA compliant, that's secure, as I said, both at rest and in transit. And that's what's required, and that's what a real expert's going to want for your medical images, for your pathology images, and that's what you want in your expert as well.